So I joined the club when I was about 11, so that would have been about 1981. Did my SRC when I was 13 and bronze when I was 15, so about 86, 87. And I was on the board from 88 through to 2 years ago, so I was president for my last 5 years, so from 7 years ago to now. So I don't know what year that is, I can't remember.
So this is Mark Cotter.
I just forget to say who it was.
So Mark, just tell us about the transitions that you've seen over the last 40 years with the club.
Well, I guess when I first joined, they were already here, but they were only in their fairly new days. And as I said, I had Gay Rose as my first patrol captain. And there's just been more and more. The biggest transition is there's been more and more and more, and those first few women really led the way for the ones that are around now.
Yeah, we're talking a whole bunch of women and some few selected males. And try and relay some of the culture, which was pre-women and then post-women.
Well, pre-women I can't comment that much on, but I think post-women, and because there's been more and more joining over the last 30, 40 years, I think they've definitely improved the culture of the club and the organisation in general. They just added a great influence to the joint.
Yeah, and Northland obviously were one of the first clubs to introduce them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly my understanding. Back when Gary Shields was president and Grant McMahon was the club captain, that's when it all happened. So, yeah.
And being on the board, part of the administration, women have always felt a key part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly. Pretty much every board I've been on, it's never been the majority, but then the women in the club aren't the majority. It's certainly getting more and more now. But we've had some amazing women in the club, like on the board. Susie Young won the Australian Lifesaver of the Year back one of the first years it was ever given away. So, there's been some amazing women in the club, certainly in the education and lifesaving roles.
In your time as president leading the club, was there any sort of issues that you had to deal with, like some of the issues that come forward with having women in the club and men in the fraternity like this?
No, not really. There's obviously the odd occasional sort of silly comment, but that never caused any issues having to deal with anything like that. No, I've had plenty of issues, but certainly none to do with women in the club. No, like I said, they've integrated really well, I think, and they're a huge part of it.
And in terms of their role, they've always been part of chief instructors and part of boards and stuff. Some of the key women over the years, can you name them?
Obviously Susie Young sticks out. Alex Flower was a chief instructor around the time of our centenary. Helen Dowson was one of the first good chief instructors who hung around for a fair while. And they come in all guns are-blazing, like a lot of people do, and that can burn them out a bit. But there's Jenny Anderson, my first patrol captain, Gay Rose, and there's Jenny's family, the two daughters, Madeline and Georgiana. There's so many in the club. Mila Campacci, there's amazing girls in the club.
I want to give you an opportunity also to recognise the women who perhaps aren't formally part of the surf club, but their lives absolutely revolve around the surf club. And the contributions, allowing their spouses, brothers, husbands to be part of this place. The women perhaps on the fringes.
Certainly even before the women were allowed in the club, the women like Sue Hamilton, Tricia Goulding, Tricia Gill, all those ones who are the parents of my mates, like the club wouldn't have functioned on a social level or any other level without them. Like the support they gave us all at surf carnivals, bringing, whether it was bananas or sandwiches or making sandwiches for functions, it was a huge contribution to the success of our club in particular.
And surf life's only quite been on the front foot in terms of cultural and social change, and Northland Guy front foot again in terms of a broader perspective, I suppose, Mark, on surf lifesaving Australian culture.
Like I said, we're lucky. I guess we've always looked forward and tried to move that way, and like women in the club you do shake your head. How on earth did it take so long to have women in the club? It's just ridiculous. So that sort of thing, and then like I said, and it's slowly getting more multinational and all those sorts of things. But women in the club's it's just such a logical thing, and they add so much.